So what do you know? I was correct when I said that the survivors were gonna be Leon, as well as Jill, and the killer being Nemesis. Guys, so are y'all excited as much as I am when it comes to the Resident Evil chapter? Because holy god, there's a plethora of things to talk about when it comes to this. So yeah, let's go ahead and just get started right into it. So first things first is that the chapter will be released on June 16th, and it's going to be coming with a plethora of things that come with that update, such as the things that you see here on the screen now. Now, it's going to be adding features like Nemesis, Jill, Leon, things that we already know, Raccoon Police Department, as well as an improved tutorial. So it's pretty cool. So with this new tutorial, you'll be able to get at least 200k blood points. I highly recommend you do it. It's just because, well, it's 200k blood points. Why not, you know? And it's pretty cool. You get to play with bots now, so you get to have a understanding of what the bots are going to be like if they implement it into customs, or if they put it into the live games that are going to replace people if they get disconnected by accident or anything like that. So that'd be pretty cool. So the next thing I'd like to talk about is basically the Trapper update. Trapper's getting some new textures. His mask got a little bit of a rework. Like, I feel like they opened the eyes a little bit more, so they're a little bit more round instead of the little triangles that are, it's the way the Trapper is in the current live servers. Also, his mouth seems to be more open, which adds that little bit of a creep factor to it. I actually like it. It looks pretty good. And yeah, let me know what you guys think of Trapper. Does he look a lot better than what he does in the live server? I personally think he does. So before we move forward, I want to go ahead and just provide you these two codes that they gave us in their live stream for the anniversary event, and go ahead and share these codes with a friend if they have not obtained any of these, or if you know anybody that's brand new to the game. It would definitely appreciate it. And I would appreciate it if you did give this video a like and consider subscribing if you're brand new. And if you share this video with a friend, make sure to go ahead and tell them to subscribe for more DBD content. So let's go ahead and move forward to the rest of the video. So Behavior is now implementing a auto ban system. Basically, any negative reports are now going to be automated and will no longer be manually investigated by customer support. So any negative reports that you might have, the more that you have them, the more likely you'll be auto banned. Now, I'm a little conflicted on this. I feel like a lot of people will exploit this, especially if you are someone who is an influencer or anyone who just has a bunch of friends that you're playing with. Now, I understand that there's a lot of games that can be a little heated or salty, you know, stuff like that, but sometimes there are just some people that just literally report you for like the silliest things, and I can definitely see this being a bad idea. Hopefully they have something that could make it where it's just like keywords that's just, you know, obvious things that you shouldn't be saying. And well, if you're like me, I just personally don't even look at the chat. I just hit continue and I just move forward throughout my day. It's a shame because there's a lot of great people that you can meet in the DBD community, but I mean, there's just sometimes you just got to like just move on, just click continue and move forward. Hopefully they can clarify a little bit more on that particular system so that people can have a little bit of reassurance. So also, we'll be getting a new engine. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, Dead by Daylight is a 5-year-old game, so a fresh new coat of paint would be awesome. Also, we're going to be getting new models for survivors, killers, as well as new animations. And yeah, I mean, we've seen some good examples. I'll provide one here on the screen right now of a few examples of what they're going to be doing with these animations. They're not drastically changing, but you can see that it has made a impactful bit. I always just say this to people, it's always the smallest details that makes the biggest impact. So speaking of all these visual overhauls to the characters in game, Behavior has stated that they want to focus their development on 4 core things on the game, and that would be the first steps into the fog, meaning like tutorials, first matches, matchmaking incentives, combating toxicity, and overall making sure for anyone who's new to the game that they get a good experience when they first start the game.
Also, their next pillar would be game health. That would be focusing on stabilization, optimization, game fixes, basically bug fixes and everything. That's awesome that they stay committed to that. I think that's great. Now, the next thing would be their Realm Beyond. Also, basically emphasizing that they'll be committed to making maps, reworking characters, animations, like visually. Also, that they would use things like making improvements to killers. For example, like the way Doctor, Freddy, and the Clown have received when it came to that. Now, what I mean by that is basically if you had ever got Freddy when he first released, he wasn't really that good, but then they reworked him, made him more powerful, changed him again, made him more balanced. For the Clown, for example, they gave him that speed potion, which would make him go faster, as well as survivors. But it's just a different thing to add to the killers to add a little bit of quality of life. So that's what this part emphasizes on. Now, their last pillar is very interesting, and this one is got my eye here because it says tweaking, improving, and redesigning some of our core gameplay mechanics to keep things fresh and exciting for our players. Now, I think that's really cool because, let's be honest, Dead by Daylight could use a little bit more spice into it because, well, after a while it kind of gets kind of dull. But with these new killers and the way these new perks have been working, I feel like they're heading toward the right direction. It's really cool the fact that they're going to add a little bit more mechanics to it. They did give us some examples of new things and ideas they're going to do. So now they don't want Maurice to be just an offering. They want it to actually be a core mechanic in the game. Now, I'm thinking, wow, that's pretty cool. I would like that. I mean, kind of just doesn't make any sense. Like me being a killer and not being able to kill them naturally in the game. It's weird that I have to send like a token just to be able to do that. And I think the developers feel that way too. And so they're going to go ahead and try to do that. Now, what I mean by that is like they want to go ahead and make it so that the killer can earn it, like in a way that they can do something or meet a certain criteria and then you'll be able to do it, which I think that's pretty good. It would allow people to go ahead and get their satisfying kill. Hopefully it's not something that's too demanding. They didn't go into full detail about it, but hopefully they'll come out with it. We'll be able to test it in the PTB and we can judge of how it feels, see if it feels right. It'd be something similar to like the way Pyramid Head is with his final judgment, and it just makes sense. I mean, they're on their final hook. You might as well just be able to mori them right there instead of going all the way to the hook. But maybe you would have to meet the criterias in order to earn it. So hopefully they can find a way to balance that so it's just a mechanic like the way they did with Pyramid Head. Now, of course, killers aren't going to be the only ones that get these mechanic changes, but there's going to be a new perk type for survivors. Unlike Hex Totems and Obsession perks, they're going to be working on a new type of perk that's just for survivors, such as Boom Totem perks that offers new types of interactions for survivors standing next to a dull totem. Now again, they didn't really go into any detail on it, but that's pretty cool that they're still taking advantage of the totem system, creativity, and more perks into it. So they said they were going to do changes to keys. Unfortunately, they didn't really release any details, so again, we'll have to wait patiently for that. So let's go ahead and hop on to the 5th anniversary details. Starting off, this event will last until July 1st all the way to the 15th, and it's going to be a limited time event, so make sure you do take advantage of that. There's going to be a lot of cool things like a bunch of confetti, a new toolbox, and all of the past anniversary items such as the med kit and everything else. So there's going to be balloons, there's going to be all kinds of cool things that are going to be in the anniversary event. We'll also be able to get new skins for the Wraith as well as David, and 2 new charms that are going to be coming in, as well as a Pride Month charm, and a lot of giveaways on their social medias such as like Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So make sure you do keep an eye on those because they're going to be doing a lot of giveaways on that, such as blood points, maybe some iridescent shards. Speaking of iridescent shards, over the first week of the event, they'll be giving away iridescent shards enough for a player to log in and unlock one full original character. And also the Shrine of Secrets will be for the duration of the event. These Shrine of Secrets will shuffle every day, and the cost of every perk will be 500 shards less than normal. And I think that's pretty cool, is that the fact that they're just giving out so much, and it's definitely a slight improvement from last year, but I feel like they could have done a little bit more, especially since they promised that they would really want to push on those two events, such as Halloween and the anniversary event. But hey, I'm happy what we're getting. Hopefully they'll again change those crowns, because those crowns just look awful. I'm sorry, they're just awful. They're not good at all. But yeah, that's gonna be a wrap, guys. So I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in for today's video, and I'll see you guys in the fog. Later.